Hey, what's up everyone? Nick here. Welcome back to the Fellowship trick-taking game. Sorry for the long absence. Life just got really busy and I did not have any time to record these videos, but finally I sat down and beat chapter 17. I'm really excited, one, to conclude this game because it's great, two, so that I can start moving on to recording other games, maybe ones that are a little less long in the campaign region, because as fun as this one is, it's been quite the journey, and I'm ready to play some new games. But for this video, let's tackle chapter 17. It introduces a very cool mechanic with the River Anduin. All right, let's do it.
Chapter 17. But let us talk no more of it. Look to the boat. She is too low in the water with all this baggage, and the great river is swift. I do not wish to drown my grief in cold water. He took up a paddle and steered toward the western bank, following Aragorn's boat ahead, which had already moved out of the middle stream. Chapter 17. The Great River. Characters: Frodo, Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, Boromir, Sam, Merry, Pippin, Galadriel, Celeborn. Threat 1 through 7. Victory, long, finish all characters. Setup: follow the instructions on the Anduin event. Give the Mithril shirt to Frodo. You do not have to complete Celeborn. The Anduin. "Hoy there, Aragorn!" shouted Boromir as his boat bumped into the leader. "This is madness. We cannot dare the rapids by night. But no boat can live in San Gabir, be it night or day." "Back! Back!" cried Aragorn. Turn if you can." He drove his paddle into the water, trying to hold the boat and bring it round. "I am out of my reckoning," he said to Frodo. "I did not know that we had come so far. Anduin flows faster than I thought. Sarn Gabir must be close at hand already." The Anduin event. Before dealing main deck cards, 4 players add the 1 through 8 river cards to the main deck before dealing each player 11 cards and 1 lost. The Great River. River cards can win any trick they are played into, even if they are not the lead suit. If multiple river cards are played, the river card of the highest rank wins the trick. River cards still lose to the One of Rings card. All right, we are good to start on chapter 17. So, we have our board dealt, we have our characters assigned, we just have to do setup. If at any point during this beginning you notice the video cut and cards move around, then that means I must have failed my first attempt and I'm filming another one. But if you don't see a cut, then that means I beat it on my first try. So, setting up the River Anduin event. We've already read through it. Some of that you can ignore. If you look at the rule book under the chapter specific rules, for single player, you're basically going to put the 8 Rivers cards into your main deck and then deal out everything as you normally would. Still do the 1 lost card, nothing else changes. As a check here, you can count your main deck to make sure that there are 28 cards, and if there are, that means you've done it correctly, so we can do that real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So everything looks good. We've given the Mithril shirt to Frodo. And a little point of clarification here. In some of the previous chapters, we've talked about on the chapter cards when it says you do not have to complete Celeborn. And we've kind of talked about, does that mean that you don't even have to attempt Celeborn? Or does it mean that you don't have to beat his goal should you choose him? And I think I found a clue to give us a little help for the wording there. So on the Mithril shirt, remember this is something that you can discard at the end of the round to basically satisfy a character that didn't complete their goal. And the key word there is complete. So the Mithril shirt says, at the end of the round, if any one character did not complete their goal, discard the Mithril shirt to count them as complete. So complete here from the Mithril shirt would mean completion of their goal. Complete does not mean participate. So when it says you do not have to complete Celeborn, how I interpret that is you still need to play Celeborn. He's not here right now, but he will be later. You just don't have to complete him. And so that's actually pretty good news for this chapter because that means Celeborn we don't have to worry about completing, and with the Mithril shirt we can give a safety net to one other character. So gives us a little bit of leeway here. Finally, the new type of card, there's no new characters for this chapter, but the new type of card are these Rivers cards. And so this is a brand new suit. And these cards are absolutely gorgeous. And the way the mechanic works is for a river card, you still have to play it like a normal card. So if Frodo were to lead the first trick with a forest card, let's do a little swap here just so this makes sense. I'll switch that back in a moment. Let's say Frodo led with the 2 of forests. When it comes to Gimli, Gimli does not have a forest, so just like before, he can play any card from his hand. So he could play a river if he wanted to. Legolas, however, does have a forest, so he can't just play the river card. But another way this will work is, so let's say once again, Frodo led with the 2 of forests. Legolas would normally win this trick because he has a 4 of forest, but if a river card is played, it automatically wins. So this first trick, if Frodo did the 2 of forests and Aragorn played whatever, and Gimli played a 2 of river and Legolas played a 4 of forests, that 2 of river would actually beat Legolas's 4 of forests. However, if Frodo led with the 1 of river and then Gimli played the 2 of river, Gimli's going to win that trick because if multiple rivers are played, the highest river card wins. And that would be true even if river wasn't the lead suit. So we'll see a few examples as we go, but that's kind of the main mechanic here. So in some ways it makes it easy because if you look at Gimli's hand, he has 3 rivers. That's kind of like 3 automatic wins. However, it also can make it hard because there's a lot of times where you don't want a certain character to win a trick and there might be no other alternative. Finally, no matter what river card is played, still nothing will beat the One Ring. And that's everything you need to know about the river. All right, so we're gonna go and start chapter 17. If you noticed a cut in the video and the characters switch around, that is because after explaining the rules and the setup, I failed and had to redeal and start all over. So that's what happened. Let's go ahead and walk through very quickly the character assignment and then the setup. So Gimli, I gave him this hand because he has the highest mountain. Legolas, this was not a great hand. There's not a lot of forests on board, but he has a pretty high river card, which is good. And Aragorn is just going to have this hand because it's the last one. So let us go ahead and do setup. So Gimli, I already shuffled the threat deck, but we'll give it a nice little shuffle. So for Gimli's setup, remember Frodo is good to go. For Gimli, we're going to draw a threat card. And it's the 5. So Gimli's win con is to win the 5 of mountains, which is currently on board. Legolas, and that's actually pretty good because we have this mountain here. Legolas will also draw a threat card. He'll get the 6. So Legolas needs to win the 6 of forests. Aragorn, we get to go pick a threat card of our choice, and as we've done in the past, I'm going to pick the 1. So Aragorn's win con is to win exactly 1 trick. Now we can do our 1 exchange, and I actually think what I'm going to do is do Frodo's exchange because he can exchange with any character. Aragorn. Frodo does not have a mountain, and I would kind of like for him to have a mountain. I also don't mind Frodo having these river cards. So let's go ahead and I can't give him this river card because then he'd have to lead with a river and I want to knock out Gimli's win con right away. So let's go ahead and swap the 2 of mountains with the 1 of hills. Now we're going to be able to lead with mountains and Gimli's going to be able to win it. So let's go ahead and start. So Frodo leads the first trick. He's going to go with the 2 of mountains. Gimli will go with the 6. Legolas does not have a mountain, so let's just get rid of his low card. Normally I'd go with the ring, but we want to make sure those are going to Frodo. And Aragorn will play the 5 of mountains. So Gimli will win that trick. We didn't have to worry about any river cards there. And right off the bat, turn 1, Gimli has his win con. So already 1 less character to worry about, and we will start. Ooh, and that was good timing, that 8 of mountains. Wow. And the 7 of mountains were all coming up next. So, all right, a lot of shadow cards. Still no forests on board. And remember, we have to get Aragorn to still win 1 trick. So Gimli's going to lead. He could lead with a river card, and, that's fine. However, what I'm seeing here is Frodo and Legolas both don't have forests, and neither does Aragorn. So with Gimli, if we were to lead with this forest, Legolas could play a ring, Aragorn could just play a high card, and then Frodo could play a river and automatically win, because remember, the rivers trump anything except for the one ring. So let's go ahead and do that. That way we'll get rings into the mix. So Gimli will lead with the 2 of forest. Legolas does not have a forest, so he'll play the 2 of rings. Aragorn, I'm actually kind of thinking here, do I want to keep this 7? Because that could be his... I think it's too early to worry about Aragorn's 1 win. So let's just go ahead and... You know what? Actually, no. Let's get rid of the 5. I'm going to keep this 7 in the pocket just in case, because Aragorn does need to win 1 at least. So no forest, he'll play the shadow. And then Frodo has no forest, so he will play a 2 of river. And now, here comes the first example. Normally, Gimli would win this trick, but because Frodo played a river card, he automatically wins. Had Aragorn also played his river card, Aragorn would have won, because then the 3 of river would beat the 2 of river. But in this case, Frodo will win the trick and claim 1 ring that he needs out of 4. So we'll go ahead and throw that back up to him. All right, he got 1 of those rings under his control. Oh, and rings are now leadable because of last turn. Okay, finally a forest on board, and luckily it did go to Legolas, so that is a bit of good luck. Unfortunately, the 6 is still not out. So, got a couple options here. We could lead with a mountain, and Frodo would automatically win unless we played a trick. However, I'm thinking, why don't we just lead with a ring? Because that will... The only other rings in the deck are the 4 and the 5, so the 3's not going to beat that anyway. So let's just lead with a ring. So now that they're leadable, Frodo will lead with the 3 of rings. Gimli does not have a ring, so let's just get rid of his shadow card. Legolas does not have a ring. Let's get rid of his... Wow, Aragorn actually has 2 high shadow cards here. So let's get rid of his high shadow card. And then Aragorn does not have a ring. Let's get rid of that 7. So now Aragorn's win con here is basically this 8 of shadows. That's what we're going to try to use to win, which means we don't want him to have river cards. And if he does have a river card, we're going to want to make sure that someone else has a higher one that they can play. But for the time being, Frodo will win that trick. Everyone played this card from the second column. Frodo will win the trick, the ring will stay with him, and ooh, that's a very good river card for Frodo. All right, still no 6 of forests. So I want to keep the 1 ring this time. The mountains aren't really going to make a huge difference here, so I'm kind of thinking, why don't we ditch the mountains? So let's just have him lead with the 8 of mountains. Gimli will play the 7. Legolas has a little bit of freedom here. Let's just play the 1 of forest because he's not going to really need that anyway. And Aragorn does not have a mountain. Let's get rid of this high card because he already has the shadow as his backup. So Frodo will win that trick. No rings involved, but it just kind of... Frodo's, one of those characters that we can just keep throwing wins on with really no penalty. In fact, in this part, it's only Aragorn we have to worry about. Okay, we are getting very lucky because Legolas now has the 2 highest forest cards. So whenever that 6 shows up, Legolas is pretty much going to be able to win it. We still haven't been able to lead with shadows. So that's kind of unfortunate, but it's okay. Let's go ahead. Let's just lead with hills. Why not? I want to keep that 1 ring on board. Gimli will play 3. Actually, no. Just in case, Gimli will play a 2. Legolas will play a 5, and Aragorn will play a 4. So Frodo will win that trick, but still not win any rings. So we're just kind of going through as usual here. Still looking for that 6 of forests. There's Frodo's 4th ring. Still no 6 of forests. So what I'm thinking now is let's just get Frodo out of the way, because we need to, you want to try to accomplish something with every trick. So rings are leadable. Frodo will lead with the 1 ring. Gimli does not have a ring. And remember, he does have river cards, but the ring will, the 1 ring will still trump all river cards. That's a rule that's in there. So let's go ahead, and I'm okay with Gimli still having some rivers here. As long as he has one higher than Aragorn. So let's just ditch this 3 of hills. Legolas has a ring, so he'll play it. And then Aragorn does not have a ring, and we've already decided we want him to keep that 8 of shadows, so he will play that. And so Frodo will win off the trump card. And there you go. Frodo now has all 4 rings. So that is his win con good to go. And we'll deal out, there's that 6 of forest. Perfect timing, because Frodo can just lead with that. Ooh, that was, we are getting some very lucky draws this time around. So yeah, we remember, you always want to accomplish something. So let's have, now the only thing we need to worry about is that Aragorn actually has a chance to win something. So we're going to need shadows to come up somehow, and Legolas is about to win this trick, so we'll have to be a little careful here, but I think we'll be okay. So Frodo will lead with the 6 of forests. Gimli does not have a forest, so let's ditch that mountain. We want to keep our shadows here so that we have a higher chance of being able to lead with them. Legolas will go ahead and just play the 8 of forests, and Aragorn, who does not have a forest, kind of thinking about ditching this river card. Oh no, I can't, because then he'd automatically win. So let's just play the 1 of mountains. So Legolas will win that trick, and he will get the 6 of forests, which is his win con. So now all 3 of those characters are good to go. We're going to deal out our final card. Oh, the ring will go to Legolas. And now we'll be able to kind of play this out and make sure we can win somehow. So, remember, we need Aragorn to win 1. So what I'm thinking here is, looking at Legolas's hand, we could lead with the 4 of forests. Aragorn could play the 5. Frodo could just play the 3 of mountains, and Gimli could play, doesn't really matter, a ring card. Aragorn would win. That's his 1. Oh, wait. We want someone else to win so that they can lead with shadows. In that case, if I lead with the 5 of rivers, then Aragorn would play a 3. Frodo would play a 7. Gimli would play a 1. Frodo would win. Then Frodo could lead with shadows, and he would win. Then he could lead with forests, and Legolas could win, and then Legolas could lead with river. So I think we're good. So I just want to make sure one more time. We're going to lead with river, then with shadow. So Legolas could just play his 4 forests. Then with forest, so Legolas could win, and then with river. I think that will do it. So Legolas will lead with the 5 of rivers. Aragorn will, now it's treated like any other suit. Everyone has to play a river card, and whoever has the highest wins. Frodo will play a 7, and Gimli will play a 1. So Frodo will actually win that trick off rivers. Then Frodo will lead with the 2 of shadows. Gimli will play a 4. Legolas will play a 4. And Aragorn will play an 8. So Aragorn will win that trick. And that gives him the 1 he needed. And then finally, Aragorn will lead with the 5 of forests. Frodo does not have a forest, so he'll play a 3 of mountains. Gimli will just play a ring, and Legolas will play a 7 of forests. So Legolas will win that trick. And then finally, Legolas will lead with the 6 of rivers, a 1 of hills, a 4, and an 8. So Frodo will steal that final trick. Whew. And if we look at our board, Frodo won 4 of the 5 rings. Gimli won the 5 of mountains. Legolas won the 6 of forests. And Aragorn won only 1 trick. So first part of the fellowship out of the way. All right, we're moving on to the next part. This time I'm going to go with Merry, Boromir, and Sam. We still have not used our Mithril shirt. We've dealt out all our cards. Let's go ahead and do setup. As always, Frodo's good to go. Merry only has an exchange. Boromir only has an exchange. And Sam will draw a threat card. It will be the 7. So Sam has to win the 7 of hills. Now we can do our 1 exchange. And trying to see, I don't see anything too tempting right now. Let's see, Boromir has that ring, so maybe we could just do something sneaky to get rings playable right away. So Frodo has a pretty high mountain card, and Sam has no mountain cards. So Boromir can exchange with any character except Frodo, so we're going to do his exchange. We're going to give Sam the 3 of rings, and we are going to give Boromir the 4 of shadows. And now we are good to start, and the whole reason I did that is so that I could lead here. So Frodo leads first trick, we'll lead with the 7 of mountains. Merry will play the 6, Boromir will play the 1, and Sam, not having a mountain, will play that 3 of rings that he just took from Boromir. And so now, rings will be playable. Frodo will win that first trick. And there you go. Frodo is already 1/4 of the way done with his win con. So now we will deal out our next round of cards. And again, we're getting some lucky draws. So Merry has to win either 1 or 2 tricks. Boromir has to win the last trick. And then if Boromir wins the 1 ring, we automatically lose. But most importantly here, if Boromir has to win the last trick, you kind of want him to save up some high cards for the very end. So him already having the 6 and 7 river cards is very helpful. We're still looking for that forest. It's not here. There's not a lot of rings on board yet. There's not a lot of hills cards on board. So if I lead with a mountain, we could let Merry win his 1 trick. Or we could play a river card. I say let's just get Merry his 1 trick right now. Why not? So Frodo will lead with the 3 of mountains. Merry will play the 5. Boromir does not have a mountain. We want to keep his high cards, so let's get rid of that 4 of shadows. Sam, we want to try to keep his hill cards. I don't want to play this river because I don't want to steal it. So let's just play the 3 of shadows. And we will give Merry his 1 win. So normally with those characters who need like 1 or 2 tricks, I like to kind of not touch them for a while, but that, you know, at the same time, you kind of want to accomplish something with every trick if you can. That's what I was saying in the last part. So we'll just go ahead and do that. All right. So Boromir just got the 5 of rings, and we still don't have that 7 of hills. We still don't have the 7 out. So Sam's win con is not up for grabs. We got to get Frodo some rings here, but unfortunately, Frodo is in kind of a tough spot. So like right now, we could play the 6 of forests, and Sam's gonna win it. Or we could play the 8 of shadows and Merry would win it, which we don't want to do. I could also do a river card, but then Frodo would have to play his 1 ring if he'd want to win the trick, and that just doesn't seem great. So let's just do, this one doesn't really hurt anyone. Sam is one of those characters that can just have as many wins dumped on him as we need. So Mary will lead with the 6 of forest, Boromir will play the 5, Sam will play the 8, and Frodo, who does not have a forest, let's just get rid of his... For some reason I want to keep that hill. I just feel like it might help me. So let's get rid of his 2 of shadows. So we'll let Sam win that trick. It doesn't really help us in any way, but sometimes that's just what you got to do. I guess in a way it does help because at the end of the day, you just don't want Mary to win anymore. That's the biggest worry. Okay, so still no 7 of hills, which is unfortunate. Still got this ring on board. So how can we get the ring to Frodo? I think what we can do is we can actually lead with this 2 of mountains. Frodo can play the 4 of mountains. Mary, let's just get rid of his high card. He doesn't really need it anymore. And Boromir does not have a mountain, so he'll play the 5 of rings. Frodo will win that trick and get his 2nd ring, so that helps. There we go. We'll deal out our next hand. Come on, where is that? There we go. There's the 7 of hills. Now, unfortunately, it's pretty high, and we currently don't have a way... Yeah, that's a little troublesome right now. So basically, if we led with the ring, Frodo would... Oh, you know what? Hold on, there is... No, rivers can't trump the 1 ring card. So if we led with the 1 ring, Frodo automatically wins. If we play the hills, then Sam has to play his hill card. He can't play this river. So the only move would be to play a shadow. And then if Mary didn't have a shadow, then we could have pulled this off. But unfortunately, he does. So right now, we can't play... I think we only have the 1 move. I want to keep the 1 ring. So I think we kind of have to play the shadow here. Just because if I don't want to get rid of the 1 ring. And if I play a hill, I'm going to lose that 7 for Sam. So we'll lead with shadows. We'll go 1, 6. Now Boromir does not have a shadow. I think I'm going to actually let him steal this one because I don't want Mary to win a 2nd trick. We're going to play the 6 of river, and Sam does not have a shadow, but we want to keep his river card just in case, so he will play a 2 of forests. So Boromir will actually steal this trick because of the river card, and nothing really helps him there, but we get to hold on to that high river, so it's a little safe. Okay, there is another hills card. I'd really like for Sam to get the 8 of... Oh my gosh, that was the luckiest draw. That was incredible. So Sam just got the 8 of hills. Unfortunately, he's not leading this trick, and Boromir has pretty much nothing but forests. So we don't yet have a way to make this work. This is actually kind of oh, you know what we can do? I see a way. So Boromir will lead with a 1 of forests. Sam does not have a forest, so he'll play a 2 river. Frodo does not have a forest, so he will play a... let's just get rid of his high hills card. He'll play a 6 of hill. And Mary does not have a forest, so Mary will play the 1 river. So that way... 2 river cards were played. Sam's is the highest. So Sam will actually win that trick. So the ring will go to him. We'll deal out another hand. And now, oh, that's very good for Frodo that he just got that 8. Except for the fact that we actually want Boromir to win the last trick. So we got to be a little careful here. But first and foremost, Sam's going to lead this trick. Sam's going to lead with the 8 of hills. That was such a lucky draw. Frodo will play the... Let's see. Frodo will play the 2 of hills. Mary will play the 7. And then Boromir will just play the 3 of forest since he doesn't have a hill card. And we need Sam to win this trick. So there is Sam's 7 of forests. So Sam's win con is now satisfied. We're about to deal out our final 4 cards, so we still need to get Frodo 2 rings, and Boromir needs to win the last trick. So this is where it's going to become apparent if we are able to win or not. And remember, we still do have the Mithril shirt, but I kind of want to try to hold on to it for as long as possible. Now that was a good draw, because now Sam, so what we can do, Mary has 3 river cards, which is actually very bad because he's going to be forced to play those. So we need to make sure other players can beat his river card while still giving Boromir the lead. So what I'm thinking here, okay, so if we lead with rings, Frodo will win, and we can still get rid of one of Mary's river cards because the 1 ring will trump a river card. Then, if Frodo leads, we can play the... Oh man, I need to get rid of that. I need to get rid of that 7, I think. Maybe not. So then, Frodo could play the 8 of rivers. Mary would have to play one of his. Boromir would play his. Sam is going to lose. Then Mary would have 2 tricks. Mary could then lead with... Did I say that right? All right, so hold on. I got to kind of figure that... So I'm going to order the cards here as if I were to play them like this. So if I did something like this. So if I played this trick, Frodo's going to win. So Frodo would lead the next trick. Then I could play the 8 river, because we're trying to get rid of Mary's river cards. Mary would play his 4 of river. That would force Boromir to play his 7 of rivers, and then Sam could just play a 3 of hills. So then Frodo would still lead the next trick. So then Frodo could lead with the 5 of shadows. Mary could play his river card to automatically win his second trick. Boromir could play the 7 of shadows, and Sam could just play the 8. So then Mary would lead the final trick. Oh, I think we got it. I think that's the win. So Sam's leading this trick. Sam's going to lead with the 4 of rings. Frodo will play the 1 ring. Mary will play the 5 river. Boromir will play the 2 ring. Normally, river card would trump, but the 1 ring still beats everything according to the rules. So Frodo will win that trick, and he will win all 5 rings. So Frodo's win con is now satisfied. He will lead the next trick. He'll lead with the 8 of rivers. So now every character has to play a river if they have one. So Mary will play the 4. Boromir will play the 7. Sam doesn't have one. He'll play the 3 hills. So Frodo wins that trick just off of the high river card. Now, Frodo will lead with the 5 of shadows. Mary will play the 3 of rivers because he doesn't have a shadow. Boromir will play the 7, and Sam will play an 8 of mountain. Mary played a river. He will win that trick, and that will be his second trick. And remember, Mary has win 1 or 2 tricks, so he's still safe. Finally, Mary will lead with the 4 of forests. Boromir will play the 7, and then those 2 will play their hills. So Boromir will win the final trick off of hills. Oh, man. Or, I mean, off of forests, right? Yeah. Whew, that was a close one, but we are now 1 step further to being done. All right, so we are now in the final part of Chapter 17. We have Celeborn, Galadriel, and Pippin. Now, as per the chapter setup, we do not have to worry about completing Celeborn's goal, and we also still have our Mithril shirt that we could use on Frodo, Galadriel, or Pippin. So really, there's only 2 characters we need to complete, but I'm still going to try to make this work as best as possible. Now, my hands here might not be the most obvious, but I kind of just wanted to do something cool, and we're going to see how it goes. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go into setup, and you'll see where I'm going with this. So Celeborn can exchange with any character. Galadriel can exchange with the Lost card or Gandalf, and Pippin can exchange with Frodo, Sam, or Merry. I haven't done this yet. I'm going to do Galadriel's exchange with the Lost card. So the Lost card was dealt up here as the One of Forests. Now remember, Pippin needs to win the fewest tricks, so ideally we want him to win 0. Galadriel can neither win the fewest or the most, so she's going to be anywhere from 1 or higher. And then Frodo and Celeborn can both win a ton of tricks. So these two can win a lot, these two can't win that much. So that being said, let's go ahead and get rid of this 8 of Mountains. I don't really think Galadriel wants that, so we're going to exchange with the Lost card. I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if it's the smartest play, but it's going to be kind of cool because what it's going to allow me to do is this. I picked these hands specifically for this reason. Watch this. Frodo's going to lead the first trick. He's going to lead with 8 of Hills. Celeborn does not have a hill, so he's going to play the 1 river. Galadriel does not have a hill, so she's going to play the 1 forest. And Pippin does not have a hill, so he's going to play the 1 shadow. Because river trumps this, Celeborn's actually going to win this hand. And off the very first hand, he has won 3 1s. And his win con is to win 3 or more cards of the same rank. So that is the sole reason I did that. It wouldn't have been possible without the river card. And the river cards are only in this chapter. So I just thought, you know what? I know you don't even have to do his win con, but I just thought that was cool. So I wanted to go with it for fun. So Celeborn knocks out his trick on the very first play. And now let's go about and do this. So Celeborn could lead with rings, allowing Frodo to steal it, but I don't want to give up the 1 ring that easily. We could also, remember Galadriel does need to win 1 trick. However, right now I don't think she's able to do that, and if I play the forest, then Pippin would win. Unless, it's not a bad idea to get rid of these river cards early, because the river cards can often hurt you late game as a surprise. So what if we do... Yeah, I don't really like the river cards. What if we do... Celeborn's going to lead with... We're just kind of getting experimental here. Celeborn's going to play the 4 of Forests. Galadriel does not have a forest, so she will play the 6 river. Pippin does have a forest, and why not get rid of the highest one? So he'll play his 8 of Forest. Frodo, again, maybe we just want to get rid of river cards here. So let's do it. Frodo's going to get rid of his river card, but Galadriel's beats Frodo's, so Galadriel will actually win that trick. So that is 1 trick for Galadriel. So technically right now she is tied for the most, which she can't be. So she is not in her win con right now. In a perfect world, Pippin is going to win 0 tricks, but it's not always that easy. And we also got to start getting Frodo some rings. So let's see. Galadriel's going to lead this trick. Okay, I'm seeing a way. So Galadriel, ideally we want her to stop winning now. She doesn't need to win anymore. So she's going to play the 7 of Shadows. The only way she'll need to win again is if Pippin wins a trick, which we want to avoid. So Galadriel's going to play the 7 of Shadows. Pippin does not have a shadow, so let's just get rid of one of his high cards. Frodo has the 8 of Shadow, and Celeborn does not have a shadow, so he'll play the 5 of Rings, making Rings now playable. Frodo will win this hand, and he will get his first of 4 rings. So now all 3 of them have won 1 trick. So we need Frodo, and so we not only need Pippin to not lose, or not win, we need Celeborn and Frodo to both win 1 more. For Frodo, that's no problem. He has to, but Celeborn has already satisfied his win con, so we just got to give him another win somewhere. Wow. A lot of ring cards all of a sudden. Okay, well, couple moves here. This river card's making me a little nervous. That's a pretty high one for Pippin to have. So if I play a Hills card, that won't work because Celeborn will win. Well, that's fine, but I don't want that right now. If I play a Shadow card, Frodo can win. He can steal a ring from Celeborn. Or if I just lead with straight up rings, we can get rid of that high card from Pippin. I'm a little hesitant to do it that early though. So let's just play the 5 of Shadows. Yeah, 5 of Shadows. Celeborn does not have a shadow, so he'll play the 2 of rings. Galadriel will just play the 3. And then Pippin, who does not have a shadow, let's just get rid of his 5 of Hills. So we don't really want Pippin to have these river cards. That could end up hurting us. Now remember, we could discard the Mithril shirt on Galadriel. That's totally fine. But if I don't have to, I don't want to. Frodo won the trick. He got a second ring. Ring will stay with him. We'll deal out our new cards. All right. Don't give anything good to Pippin. Okay, so now if I were to lead with Hills, then Celeborn would win, which is okay. I'm okay with that, as long as I can get Frodo his other rings soon. If I lead with Mountains, Celeborn or Frodo will just win easy, and if I play Shadows, Frodo will still win and won't get a ring. So let's just get Celeborn his win. So Frodo will lead with the 3 of Hills. Celeborn will play a 6. Galadriel does not have a hill, and we don't want her to win anymore, so let's get rid of their 7 of Forests. And Pippin will get rid of his 4 of Hills. So Celeborn will win. So now we'll actually bounce back. So if you look, Frodo and Celeborn are both tied for the most tricks, and Pippin has the least tricks. So right now, Galadriel does have her win con. So as long as we can make it so only these 2 win from here on out, we're good. Actually, I guess I'll put this on Pippin because he has his win con right now too. So all we're trying to do is get Frodo to win his rings and not let Celeborn win, or not let Galadriel or Pippin. Oh my gosh, this is bad. Pippin having, oh, Pippin, you're messing everything up. Pippin having a lot of river cards is not good. So, let's see. Yeah, that is not good. Especially all the river cards are down here. That might kind of mess us up. I might be using the Mithril shirt here on Galadriel. Maybe Pippin, actually. No, actually, they might, because those 2 kind of both play off each other. I might lose. So if I lead with Forests, then Pippin would win, unless Galadriel won, which we don't want either of them to win. If I play a Mountain, then we could get Frodo a win, or Celeborn. Let's get Frodo the win. So we'll play the 5... we'll play the 2 of Mountains. Galadriel will play the 3. Pippin will play the 3. And Frodo will play the 4. So Frodo will win that. Yeah, it's really kind of tough with... I guess if I could get Frodo and Celeborn each a 3rd win, then Galadriel could have 2 wins and that would still be fine. But Pippin having 3 river cards is going to make this a big problem, which now I'm kind of regretting getting rid of all those river cards so early. See, yeah, all the river cards are ending up down here, which is really bad for us. So Frodo could, let's see, what can we do here? Kind of trying to not get these river cards playable as much as possible. So Frodo could play a Mountain. He could get rid of some cards here. Oh boy. I need to keep that 1 ring as a trump card. I also don't mind Celeborn winning one. So, because that would put him at 3 as well, which would mean Galadriel could win one. I think we kind of have to do that here, just to be safe. So, Frodo's actually going to lead, even though I have all the rings on board that I need for Frodo to win. I need to get Celeborn another win. So Frodo's going to play a 6 of mountains. Celeborn will play a 7 of mountains. Galadriel will play a 2 of shadows. And Pippin will play a 7 of hills. So Celeborn will win that trick. So that gives us some buffer room with Galadriel here. She can now win another trick and still be okay. Which is a big deal. So Celeborn wins. We're going to deal out our final hand and figure out how this is going to play out. That is crazy that all my river cards are with the 2 characters that I cannot let win. That is actually crazy. Wow. So now comes, I might do the same thing I did last time and line these out. Because I need to get Frodo to win. And we need to get rid of some of Pippin's river cards here. I mean, the very fact that Galadriel can beat 2 of his river cards, but then that's going to make it so she's too high. So can I make it so that Celeborn and Frodo actually both have... I don't think I can do that. Yeah, that's bad. Or no, wait, I only need one of them to get another win. Oh, oh man, I'm an idiot. I thought they needed the... I'm stupid. I don't think I needed to do all that. So basically all I need to do, so Celeborn's going to lead this trick. So if Celeborn leads with, let's say, the 2 of forests, Galadriel can get rid of a ring. Yeah, I'm stupid. I think I was misunderstanding who had the most tricks for some reason. That was dumb. Pippin will play the 1, and then Frodo will play the 6. So in this case, Frodo would win, and he'd get another ring. Then Frodo, because now no matter what, Pippin has to play a river card. So now Frodo would play the 1 ring. Oh, I think we're going to be okay. So Frodo will play the 1 ring. Celeborn will play the 3 of rings. Galadriel does not have a ring at this point, so she will play a 5 river. No, she doesn't have to play a river. So she'll play a 4 of shadow, and then Pippin, who does not have a ring, will play a 7 river. That way, Frodo's trump card beats Pippin. So Frodo will win. And then Frodo can just lead with, I don't think it really matters. Frodo will lead with a 1, a 2. Yeah, I think this is it. So Galadriel will actually win 2 more tricks, putting her at 3, but that's total. All right, I think we're good. I'm dumb. I just misunderstood. Well played. So let's do this. So Frodo's going to lead with a 6 of forests. Celeborn will play a 2. Galadriel will play the 4 of rings because she does not have a forest, and Pippin will play the 1 of mountains. So Frodo will win that trick and get his 3rd ring, and that will also be his 4th trick 1. The ring will go to him. Frodo will now play the 1 ring. Celeborn will play the 3. Galadriel will play a 4 of shadows, and Pippin will play a 7 river. Normally Pippin would win, but the 1 ring still trumps everything. So Frodo wins that one. That gives him all 5 rings and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tricks. Frodo will lead again. Frodo will lead with the 1 of hills. Celeborn will play a 2. Galadriel will play the 5 river. And Pippin will play the 2 river. So Galadriel played the highest river. So she will win. And that will put her at 2 tricks. She'll lead the final trick. She'll play an 8 of river and automatically win it. So that will put her at 3 tricks. I could have also let Pippin win that still. So, if we look at this now, Frodo won 5 tricks, he's good. Celeborn won 3 ones, he's good. Pippin won 0 tricks, which is the fewest, so he's good. Galadriel can win neither the most nor the fewest tricks. The most is 0, or sorry, the least is 0, the most is 5. Galadriel won 3. She's good, we're good, Chapter 17 is complete.
There you go. Chapter 17, another one down. we only have one more to go, guys. Chapter 18. It'll be coming up as soon as I have it ready, and then we can be done with this campaign, with this series. It's been a lot of fun. Really excited for what's to come. So thank you for watching. As always, let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. If you're new, welcome to the channel. And yeah, I'll see you in chapter 18, the finale.